Hi friends, today we will talk about the famous shoes of the Red Army, namely felt boots. I will tell you what significance these shoes had, in which cases the Soviet soldiers refused to wear felt boots. And also at the end of the video I will show a photo of captured German felt boots, and also what the Wehrmacht came up with to protect their soldiers. Everyone probably knows what felt boots are and how they look, at least from pictures and photographs. During the Great Patriotic War, they were the main type of footwear in the winter. In the summer, in the Red Army they wore boots with taping, and the officers were given boots. In the cold winter they were given felt boots. It is worth noting that by the winter of 1941, the Soviet Army had already been prepared, since during the Finnish War, sanitary losses from frostbite amounted to 17,867 people. It was then that felt boots took their place on the list of strategically important products. By the end of 1940, about 500,000 felt boots were stored in warehouses in Leningrad. They protect the soldier very well from the cold and severe frosts. However, this shoe also had its downsides. They get wet very quickly in the thaw and slush. Therefore, during the thaw, as soon as the weather conditions changed and it became warm outside, the servicemen changed their shoes. They changed their shoes into boots and tarpaulin boots, and felt boots were sent to the rear for repairs. With the onset of spring, felt boots arrived at army warehouses, at collection points, where they were successively disinfected and sorted. They were divided into those that can be used, requiring some repair, and those that can no longer be worn. During the war, more than 20 million pairs of boots were produced and repaired. In most cases, the shoes went into disrepair in the sole area. Slightly occurring damage in the form of burns. They appeared as a result of drying products on a fire. Another category of felt boots, collected from the battlefield. They are taken from the dead soldiers. It was generally impossible to remove felt boots from a cold, stiff corpse. Therefore, they were cut from the back, repaired and again transferred to the soldiers. With such seams, many fighters refused to put on shoes, realizing to whom it belonged earlier. But unfortunately, there was not much choice. Products that had been disinfected, washed and dried were straightened on special blocks, and a new sole made of felt was hemmed onto them. Well, those that were removed from the corpses were sewn at the incision site near the heel. The initial strategy of fascist Germany provided for a blitzkrieg and a quick victory over the USSR. But these plans were not destined to come true. The Germans were not ready for the failure of the blitzkrieg. This was reflected in everything, including uniforms. The Wehrmacht simply did not have the provision of winter clothing. This is how an outlandish type of footwear appeared, ersatz boots. In the first winter of the war with the Soviet Union, the Germans solved the problem of warm shoes simply. They took away warm clothes from the population in the occupied territory. A little later, by special order of the German army in Berlin, they began to make ersatz boots. It was far from mass production, and the footwear itself was delayed mainly for sentries and employees of other branches of the military, who were not required to move quickly. Felt boots are present on boots made of thick felt with wooden soles, which are worn on the upper shoe or boot. They weighed about 3 kilograms. They were worn only in low mobile combat arms. But Germany did not have the opportunity to provide even those most in need of these shoes due to the lack of raw materials, production time, and capacity. In order to somehow provide for the freezing sentries, the quartermaster's service began to supply ersatz galoshes woven from strips of pressed straw, worn on top of ordinary German boots or boots and stuffed with straw or paper.